Welcome back. Dr. Jsn Murthy was born in 1951. He now smiles, almost in disbelief, at the place that Madras was in those days. The Perambur Railway Hospital, where Dr. Murthy was born and grew up, was in fact surrounded by dense woods and suffused with an eerie calm. He grew up there in the company of many medical stalwarts and can now proudly speak of 34 years of saving lives. Let's take a look at the moments that make his fond memories of Madras. Dr. Jsn Murthy's reputation as a successful cardiologist is still strong after over 34 years of service. After a long day at Ramachandra Medical College, the head of cardiology, driven by passion, spends a few more hours in his private clinic at Guindy. Taking a break from his busy schedule, he took a moment to tell us how the Madras he was born in was nothing like this busy, bustling Chennai of today.
At that time, Chennai was, particularly the place where I was staying in the Perambur Railway Hospital colony, is far away from the civilization. After Kelly's, if you see, right up to Perambur Railway Hospital, there is no inhabitants except we see the campus of the mental hospital, and after that it's only the Perambur Railway Hospital and the workshops from the Perambur Railway Hospital. So those days, if we want to go to the city, it's a great journey to go by bus. The nearest place of any civilization is near Das Prakash. So that was the days like that.
Growing up in the company of medical stalwarts, including his father, was an intriguing experience for Dr. Murthy, and he was always surrounded by strong sources of inspiration.
It's a really small hospital, and my father was one of the senior doctors there, and the hospital was very small. In the early 60s, Dr. T.J. Cherian, who joined the hospital as the head of the hospital, and he had the burning desire to start the cardiac unit at the railway hospital. And so he brought great people, and then brought the infrastructure, and brought people from Christian Medical College, Vellore, and people who are trained by their hospitals. They were brought there. And slowly they started. And at that time I was a school kid, and the first generation of cardiology, when they were starting, we were all in the campus, and we used to say, and over a period of time we could see that the railway hospital bustling with cardiac surgery and cardiology.
Inspired by T.J. Cherian, who is one of the doyens of cardiothoracic surgery, Dr. Murthy soon joined a medical college. Following in his idol's footsteps, he soon earned an MBBS in Chennai and subsequently an FRCP in Glasgow. The learning processes within the field of medicine, though, were drastically different back then than they are today.
Those days the technology was not like this, and the sophistication was not there. The talents of the great teachers was mainly clinical acumen and their knowledge to teach, and the clinical practice was far ahead than the technological practice what we have today. Those days the greatest investigation what you can ask is an X-ray, and ECG also is not that very easily asked. Only one ECG machine will be available in intensive care, and unless the duty senior doctor asks, it cannot be done. So people relied more on clinical knowledge and the seniors teaching the juniors, and we had a lot of bedside clinics which made people to learn the art of medicine those days. It's almost 34 years I'm in cardiology. I was one of the lucky ones, being because I could grew up in an atmosphere where the cardiology and cardiac surgery started at the railway hospital, and I was privileged to have worked in Perambur, and I grew up from the lowest level as a senior house surgeon. And I was one of the first fellow to get the National Board of Cardiology from the Railway Hospital, Perambur. Then we have a British Council's fellowship we have created. It is called, I was a scholar of the British Council, and we brought what is called as a higher education link scheme, between the London University Hospital for Sick Children and the railway hospital, which has helped us to bring more technology, and many of the things have got disseminated because lot of people got benefited, and the technology which was passed to Perambur and these doctors migrated to so many other centers, and it has helped.
Dr. Murthy, who sees an average of about 50 patients each day, was once asked how a cardiac hospital could be marketed in today's day and age. His response?
So it takes years and years of hard work, and you have to build up an infrastructure for people to have faith and confidence. Since I was with the railways and I belong to Andhra Pradesh, one of the farthest point of Andhra Pradesh, like Srikakulam, one of the primitive districts, if people have got any fever of more than 10 to 15 days, what they do is they take the train and come to Chennai and take the next train, and they say they are going to Rayavellur. Rayavellur in Telugu is very common because Vellore is once upon ruled by Krishnadevaraya. So they call it Rayavellur. So they take the next available train. Now they don't get down in Chennai. They take the next train and go to Vellore because they have the faith that this is a hospital which is there, which is available for anybody. You don't need to know anybody to get your treatment done.
Later, over a cup of coffee, I asked him about the one medical case that he would always remember. He said when he was young and still learning medicine, a 79-year-old gentleman had come to his teacher to get a pacemaker implanted. His teacher found Dr. Murthy chuckling in a corner. Guilty as charged, Dr. Murthy innocently said that he found it funny that a 17-year-old would come to get a pacemaker implanted. His teacher merely said, "His age is not your concern, just implant the pacemaker." The irony, as Dr. Murthy remembers, is that the battery of a pacemaker lasts for 10 years, and 10 years later, the same patient came to Dr. Murthy himself to get another pacemaker implanted. With that, we wrap up this episode of the Metroplus show. You can tell us which article in the magazine you would want to see in the show. The process is simple. Just drop in a mail at feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. I'll see you again next week. Until then, goodbye.